Okay, so in order to make these classes as freely accessible as possible to our participants, we'll be using a verbal warning and assumption of risk at the beginning of class. Participation in this online class is voluntary. Physical activity programs may result in injury, and by participating, you assume the risk of injury that may result from your participation. We strongly recommend that you participate from a space that is suitable for this activity. For example, make sure you have moved nearby furniture or other potential hazards. If you're participating in a yoga class or a class like this that involves floor work, we recommend using a mat or just a carpeted area. Participants are encouraged to stop if they experience pain or injury and should seek appropriate medical advice or care as needed. William & Mary Health and Wellness strongly recommends that each participant have an annual physical examination and follow the advice of your healthcare provider before participating. Everybody got that? Awesome. So if you've never taken a barre class before, this is your very first time. It's a pretty stationary, moderate intensity workout that focuses on toning specific muscle groups one at a time with small repetitive movements. It's kind of based in a mix of ballet, yoga, and Pilates. So we're gonna mix those up today. So we're gonna get started with a warm-up in standing. And just like always, you know, these classes are best for you. So everything I say is just a suggestion. Feel free to take any modifications that you need. I'll try to offer as many as I can, but I obviously can't see everybody, but make sure you're taking care of yourself, drinking water. Yeah, and that's that. So if you are gonna listen to the music, go ahead and press play on the first song. Should be Work From Home, Fifth Harmony. I think we can all relate to that. And we're just gonna start in center floor. So make sure everybody can see my feet. Can you see me and hear me? Yeah? Okay, awesome. So we're gonna start in a neutral position, feet underneath our hips with a soft bend in those knees. Try to feel your feet grounded, maybe roll around to all four corners of your feet. Starting with some shoulder rolls. Bring our shoulders up to our ears and rolling them all the way down the back. Bringing them all the way up and peeling them back. And let's roll to the front, peeling apart those shoulder blades in the back. And one more. Let's look to the left and center and right and center. Now we look up and center and down. Good. Let's take a big inhale, arms up to the sky. And then exhale, let it all out. One more. Good. Now I'll probably be off beat because I'm not listening to the music, so I sincerely apologize for any musicality concerns. We're gonna start with some high knees, just stepping one knee up and the other, peeling that foot off the ground, but keeping our chest proud. You guys look great. Let's add some arms. Elbows to hips as we pull the knees up. Really trying to create some tension in the air. This is going to be a whole body weight workout. So trying to think about what we can do to challenge ourselves without any weights. Let's add a twist, elbow to knee. I know I'm starting to feel warm. I don't know about you guys, but I mostly just sit around and go on walks all day. So this is a good change of pace. Let's twist for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Land down in a narrow squat. Our knees right over our ankles. My hips are sitting back. Proud chest. We're going to keep that knee movement, lifting and lowering, lift and lower. Keep that movement going. I think I see a chat. Let me just fix that real fast. Awesome form. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's keep that right knee up and balance. Finding a tall position on that supporting hip. Trying to grow even taller, maybe grabbing a string and pulling that knee up, pulling up the crown of your head. And then we're stretching tall for 4, 3, 2, 1. Stretch the foot out, hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back to narrow squats. We're gonna do the other side in 4, 3, 2, 1. Step that opposite knee up in balance. Pull it a little higher, grow a little bit taller. Balance for 4, 3, 2, 1. Extend for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job. Are you guys feeling warm at all? Maybe a nod. Awesome. We're going to step into second position. So kind of ballet inspired. I know in my free time I've been doing a lot of ballet classes on Instagram Live, trying to stay active and in shape. So we're going to be inspired by that today. Stepping our stance about one heel toe wider than our hips, coming down into about a half bend. Now in second position plie, we're not squatting out like we're picking something up. Instead, I'm tucking my pelvis under and sliding up and down a wall. So finding that position, we're going to work through a full range of motion. When we come up, arms come up, and we come down. Up and down. Feeling the full stretch of our muscles, starting to feel awake. Maybe we just got out of bed. Maybe trying to match your breath to your movements. On the inhale, come up. On the exhale, come down. We're here for 5 more. 4, 3, 2, last one. Let's land down at the bottom. We're gonna come up about halfway. 2 inches up, 2 inches down. 2 up, 2 down. How much control can we use? Each time we shorten our range of motion, we're gonna come back to full range to give us a little break. In 3, 2, and 1. Back to full stretch and lower. If you're starting to feel the challenge, starting to think that this may be a little harder than what you thought was gonna happen, set yourself an intention or a personal challenge today. What can you work for? In 3, 2, and 1, back down. This time we're working in the lower half. I'm going down 2 inches and rising. Down and rise. Definitely feeling this in my quads, in my glutes from behind. We're here for 8. Can you get lower? 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew, shake it out. We're coming back to that second position, but feel free to grab some water in between. Mine's all the way up here. Coming back to that position, we're comfortable, we're best friends with it now. We're gonna kind of isolate our ankles and our feet here. So coming back down halfway, we're gonna lift our right heel up and lower and left, lower. Just switching it out. It can be kind of easy to let this part of our body get lazy when we're working our feet, but try to engage it as well. Pull those abs in. This is fun, but we might as well add a little bit of movement. So as we lift, we're gonna shake our hips down, and then we're gonna shake them back up. It's like we're zigzagging. And come back up. Good, let's go down and up 2 more times. I know my legs are shaking. I don't know about you guys. Last set. And come up. We have our final challenge with our 4 starch raised heels. Bring them both up to the sky, push into those toes, and sink a little bit lower. We have a final pulse of 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Shake it out. Everybody doing good? Awesome. Okay, we have one more exercise in our second position to get us fully warm. I know I'm already sweating, but we're gonna do a little bit of standing core work. So coming from that same second position, I'll demonstrate it first and then you guys can join in whenever you're ready. So it has 3 parts and then we're gonna shorten it to a double speed. So I come down, put my hands to my head, stand up, crunch, second position, stand, squat, crunch, down, and up. Good. Really try to bring that elbow to the knee while keeping your position lateral. So we're not twisting to meet that leg. Instead, we're really working our side body. Let's do 4 more. 3, 2, last one. One more set. We're down in our second position. Some diagonal reaches. Then we'll down, I promise. Reach for the ankle, come up. Reach and lift. Keeping that chest proud and those shoulders back. We have 8 reaches. How close can you get to that mat? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're really done in second position. Let's all grab some water. I know I feel my heart rate coming up a little bit. Ooh, I should have brought a sweat towel. My brother asked me, do I need a towel? I was like, no, you're fine. Okay, so we're gonna move onto our mat for a little bit of floor work before we go to our bar or our chair. So if you have a mat nearby, go ahead and find that, or if not, carpet, floor, whatever you have should suffice. Everybody can see me down here? Awesome. Okie doke. We're gonna work a little bit from a yoga-inspired sequence today. So we're gonna be working from down dog. So down dog can be modified to whatever you need. Normally, we tuck our heels from a tabletop position where our hands are directly underneath our shoulders, my knees are underneath my hips, then I tuck my toes, send my hips high to the sky, and push back towards my thighs. Hips are sending up towards the ceiling, reaching to put my heels into the mat, and pushing my shoulders away from my ears. Let's just walk the dog out here, feeling some movement in our legs. Maybe taking a deep bend in both knees. Whatever feels good for your body on this Sunday morning. We're gonna do a little bit of core challenge here, but if that doesn't feel right to you, you can just stay in down dog or come down to child's pose, whatever works. We're gonna swing that right leg high up to the sky, keeping our toes pointed down. Then swing my knee through to my arms, trying to touch it to my nose, push it back up. This time it comes forward, but it comes to meet my tricep on the side. And then it comes back up and right back down to the mat. We're gonna do the left side. Left leg comes up high, swings forward towards my knee, push it back, and up towards my tricep, and up, and down. Good, let's come down to our knees into a child's pose. That was our first down dog of class. Maybe the blood is rushing to our head. We gotta ease into it. All right, I have a challenge for you all, so feel free to do all of it or none of it. We're gonna go through that same sequence. Right leg, nose, tricep, but instead of switching legs, we're gonna do nose, tricep, and then we're gonna hold for 5. Think we can do it? I know we can do it. I believe in you. So we're gonna come back to that downward facing dog, push those heels back, hips high. Let's start with our right leg challenge. Right leg comes up to the sky. We swing it forward to the nose, up to the tricep. Push it forward to your nose, and to the tricep. We have 2 more sets. One more time. This time time, leave that knee where it is next to the tricep. We're gonna do some tiny push-up pulses for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. Come to child's pose or tabletop. Let your heart rate come back to normal. I know I'm sweating like crazy. Maybe take some hip circles and switch directions. And one form thing I didn't mention, when we're sliding forward into our high plank, making sure our shoulders are directly over top of our hands, so we're making sure we're safe to our wrists. All right, let's go to our left side, pushing back into our downward facing dog. Hips go high, chest to thighs. Left leg comes high to the sky. Swing it forward to your nose and push it back. Over to the tricep and push it back. Good, back to the nose and to the side. 2 more sets. Last time. Leave that leg where it is. Push for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. Shake that out. Maybe wipe off your sweat, grab some water. All right, so normally during a bar class that we would be doing at William & Mary, this is where we would be doing our standing arm section with weights, but because we don't have any weights, or maybe you do, or maybe you have a milk jug or whatever you're using during this time, we're gonna do some body weight instead. We just did a little bit. We're gonna do some tricep dips. So we have a couple of different variations that you can do for however your body can handle it today. So normally I'm just gonna do tricep dips on my mat. So basically what this means is I'm gluing my elbows in close to my body, sitting with my feet planted. I'm gonna plant those hands with my fingertips facing my booty, plant them down, lift up, and then I'm gonna dip using my hands, not using my hips to the mat. We're gonna do 3 different kinds. Regular, and then I'm gonna lift my right leg and my left. Feel free to do any or all or none. Or if you have the materials nearby, you can do some lifted tricep dips, like on your couch or something like that. That gives you kind of a different exercise. So coming to your preferred tricep dip position, we're gonna do 10 of each. So starting with our 2 feet planted on the ground, pulling it up, let's dip for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. And I also don't claim to have perfect form. I think we said that we're hoping for these classes to be awesome, not perfect. So as long as you're trying your best and everything feels right, that's all you can do. Coming back to that position, this time lifting our right leg up if you want to take it there. Let's pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. Quick break. I know my arms are feeling it now. Last side. Bring it back to that position. Get our left leg lifted. We dip for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's take a quick tricep stretch wherever we are, pulling that elbow up behind our head, grasping above or below the joint. And switch. Check the time. Perfect. All right, everybody grab a sip of water. We're gonna transition to our bar section, or your chair or kitchen countertop section, whatever that looks like for you. So I'll give us a few seconds to move around. Maybe we gotta move to the kitchen or something. And if you have any questions, just throw them in the chat and I'll see it light up and can go help you out. My dog came into the frame. Hi, Domino. Okay, so I'm using this lovely kitchen chair as my bar today. So the purpose of the bar is not to put all of our weight on it and try to push it over, even if our bars in the studio may be bolted down. The point is to give us a little bit of extra stability so we can really focusing on engaging our muscles and being as strong as we can while not focusing on balance, which can throw us off a bit. So starting in a first position, so just like second position is ballet inspired, we're just gonna step it in. Our heels are together and my toes are pointed towards opposite corners of the room. So I have a beautiful triangle in between my feet. And same thing about our hip positioning. We don't want to stick out like a duck. Instead, we want to tuck our pelvis under and squeeze those abs up and in. So if I were to slide down a wall, there would be no space behind me rather than sticking out. So finding that position, you can have one hand on the bar. We're going to come up onto the balls of our feet, reconnect our heels together, and then slide those knees out about halfway down. So my knees are directly out over my big toes. I have a beautiful diamond in between my legs. You guys look great. Starting with 2 counts down and 2 counts up. We're going to come about halfway and rise, lower, and rise. This is kind of where we might feel our legs start to shake. They might start to quiver a little bit, but that's good. Unless something really hurts, kind of lean into that shake. How far can you go? We have 4 more before we change it up. 3, 2, last one. Let's come down to that halfway position. This time, we're gonna add a little bit of a pulse. So I'm gonna pulse up, come halfway, all the way up and down. Little up, halfway, all the way up and down. Good. Really cutting that range of motion in half. Hopefully we should be feeling the difference between these little pulses and the big stretches. 4 more. 3, 2, last one. Let's stay where we are. Now we're going down. I'm going to take it halfway down and rise, getting lower to the floor, but not coming up above that halfway point. Ooh. Shake it out if you need, but keep going. Feeling that shake for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Quick break, shake it out. We have 2 more things to do here in first position. We can push through it. Coming back to that place, we're gonna come about a couple inches down. This time we're pushing our knees out, like we're opening a book. Really squeezing from behind, using those hamstrings to pull those knees open. All you're gonna hear in this YouTube video is me like breathing loudly because there's no music on my end. So you guys are having a lot of fun, more fun than me. Push them open for 4, 3, 2, 1. Last change. I'm going to shift all my weight onto my inside leg and then pull that outside leg forward, tap it front, side, Maybe bring that foot down to flat foot if you need, but we're here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch to the feet. Bring all that weight to that outside foot. Pull the foot forward, shift it out, in, 8 more, 6, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on down from first position. Let's take a quad stretch together, pulling our heel towards our glute and putting that working hip down. Hi, Ola from Spain. Switch feet. You can hold on to your chair if you want, or maybe pull an arm out for balance. Awesome job. So our next section here at the bar, we're going to be working from a lunge. So I do a lunge in this workout. There's a bunch of different kinds. My ideal lunge for you guys is working from a 90-90. So what that's going to look like is a pretty short stance, and we're going to have my front knee over my front toe, not too far forward, and that back leg at about a 90-degree as well. But we have to make it fun and dynamic, of course. So starting with one hand on the bar, I'm going to step it back into a reverse lunge, so just moving backwards, come down. Then I'm going to spring onto my inside foot, come up onto my toes, this is called passe, and then step forward into that same 90-90 lunge. Step it back, come up high, and then step it back to our lunge. Center and forward, center and back. I trust you guys to go on the beat, so this is just a suggestion. Checking that form, each lunge. We're here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's land back. Our inside leg is forward. We're in that 90-90 position. Let's add some full range lunges. Straighten and lower. Can you get that knee to tap the floor? If you can, you're my hero. 8 more. Last 4. 2. One final thing. We're going to lift that back leg, abduct it in, pulse for 2, and place it out for 2. Pull it across, pulse, pulse, pull it out, pulse, pulse. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're almost done. I lied. Come back to center. Donkey kicks. Kick the heel to your butt. Come back down. Shift the weight forward. Challenge yourself to make it all the way to the end of this exercise. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake that leg out. That's no easy feat, but we did it. Virtually high five whoever you see on your screen. Thanks for the high fives. Now we do the other side, but we're pros now, so we know what to do. So maybe flip your chair around. All right, so whichever leg was inside before, switch it out. For me, my right leg is now inside. Stepping back and pull it up, front and pull it up. Good. Too close. Let's do 2 more sets before we land in the back. Last one. And step that outside foot back. We're here in our lunge once again, ready for our full range and down. And like I said at the beginning, if these just aren't working for you, feel free to modify this for whatever feels better. Maybe you want to work in a narrow squat, and maybe that's better. Maybe you've just been chilling in child's pose, enjoying the playlist. That's okay too. Here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Abductions. Pull that leg across, pulse, pull it out, pulse, pulse, pull across, and out. Three, 2, and 1. Final exercise, donkey kicks. Kick that heel up, shifting our weight forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake that out. Let's cross our right foot over our left and come down into a stretch. Letting those hands hang heavy. And then switch our feet, cross the other leg. Maybe doing whatever other stretches feel good to you. All right, we got one final exercise at the bar before we move it to our mats for some core and cool down. So let's make this our best set. Drip our sweat all over our floors and then Lysol it later. So this time we're gonna be facing our bar or your chair because we're working our glutes. Our glutes don't get much work when we're sitting on the couch all day or doing whatever we're doing these days. So we're really gonna try and target them. So shifting all my weight forward onto my right leg, we're gonna work our left leg first. I'm gonna stick that left leg straight back behind me, sending energy all the way from my hip, all the way to my pointed toe. If I came around in class and tried to push down on it, your leg would resist because it's so strong. Lifting it up and tapping it, lift and tap. Just kissing the floor. Making sure that our hip isn't turned out. We really want to square our hips to the wall in front of us. So maybe think about a magnet in each hip socket. Let's keep that leg lifted. This time just lift it high. Flex your foot, keep lifting. We should be feeling this in this upper corner of our glute or this edge right here. Next switch, we're gonna point and flex, point and flex. Keep that foot pointed. Let's draw a little circle on the wall behind us. If you feel any pain or discomfort in your standing leg, go ahead and take a mini stretch in that leg. I mean a mini bend, said stretch. Bringing that knee in halfway. So the inside of your leg is parallel to the floor. This is called attitude. I'm gonna lift my knee up and down, up and down. Almost like a dog peeing on a fire hydrant. 3, 2, and 1. Straighten the leg. Last exercise on this side. Draw a rainbow, tap it across, lift, tap it side. Drawing that rainbow with our pointed toe. 4 more rainbows. 3, 2, and 1. You're done. Woo, shake out both those glutes. Let's take a figure 4 stretch in our working leg, crossing our heel over our thigh and sitting back. Sometimes we feel even more pressure on that standing leg, even when we're working like the outside leg. Sometimes something that helps me, I think I have a tendency to sit into my hip like this, thinking that it'll make it feel better. But it's really easier if you think about like a stress ball in your hip socket and you're squeezing it and coming up tall onto that hip. So maybe try that on this next side if you felt any discomfort. Other side. Shifting our weight forward on that opposite leg. We know where to start. Point that leg straight back and lift it inch up and down. My chair is blocking my foot. There we go. Switching it up, don't let that foot touch the ground, just little lifts in the air. Squaring those hips forward, checking in on that standing hip. Flex the foot, keep lifting. Leave it where it is, point and flex, point and flex. Leave that foot pointed, draw a little circle behind you. I'm definitely feeling it too. Let's get through this together. After this, we get to sit down for the rest of class. Bring that knee into attitude, lift it side and lower, side and lower. Don't forget to breathe. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Final exercise, draw our rainbow. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake it out. I felt that burn. I hope you guys did too. Ooh, let's take our opposite figure 4 stretch. That feels good. Ooh, but it burns at the same time. Grab some water. All right, go ahead and move that chair out of the way or your countertop. And find that mat or the floor once again. All right, we're gonna start with some glute bridges. So might as well keep working those glutes while we're at it. So coming down onto our mat, planting those feet where they are. Let's stick those hands out in front of us and then slowly lower as far as we can go before totally falling onto our mat. So for our glute bridge, you have 2 different options. You can just have your feet in parallel like so, and we're gonna peel our hips off the mat and work from there. Or if you want to target your hamstrings, you can put your feet together almost like we're in first position, like this, and that's really gonna work your hamstrings more than just a regular glute bridge would. So take your pick. I'm gonna do my hamstrings. The closer your feet are to your body, the more challenging this is, so also adjust that as well. Let's go ahead and peel those hips up off the mat, and just start by lowering them slowly, and then lifting them up. Lower, and lift. Maybe starting to feel your heart rate calm down a little bit. Let's leave those hips up at the top. Pulse them high and high. Feeling all that work we just did in our glutes and our lower back really get activated right now. Leave those hips where they are. I'm gonna squeeze my right glute and left glute. Right and left, feeling each one lift as I engage it. Right and left, right and left. Bring those hips gently back down to the mat, finishing this out with some turbo speed lifts and lowers. So whatever speed you feel comfortable with. I have no idea what song is playing right now, so maybe go ahead and match that. But we're gonna lift, lower at whatever pace you like for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ooh, bring those knees in to your chest. Rock side to side. And then rocking front to back until you come into a seated position. Doing a little bit of core here. We're gonna plant those feet at about a 3/4 bend. This in the bar world is called the earthquake position because we tend to shake a lot when we're in it because it's so fun and challenging. So finding those sits bones, those two pointy parts underneath your bottom, that's where we wanna be. Extending those arms forward once again, but this time just lowering back until we feel our abs engaged. Keeping that neck long, keeping our gaze lifted, shifting 2 inches back and 2 inches front. Keeping those feet planted. Elongating our spine. Normally when we do this in studio, we can use some squishy balls as some lower back support. So if you're having any trouble with that, maybe place one hand behind. Let's stop about halfway down, pulling our right elbow back, follow the elbow, and pull it back. And pull, and pull. We're crossing the midline with our gaze. Feeling those obliques engage, pulling and pulling for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Quick break. We have one more ab exercise left. This I'm borrowing from Pilates. You may have done it before. It's called the Pilates 100. We're gonna be down on our mats. Don't start yet, I'll count us in. With our neck and our shoulders lifted, our arms straight out, and we're gonna pump. We're gonna pump 100 times, and I'm gonna count us there. So everybody wanna meet me in that position. You can also keep a hand behind your head for some support. By finding our pumping position, let's get started. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 10, inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 20, inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 30, inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 40, inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 50, inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, we're halfway there. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 60, inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 70, inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 80, inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 90, inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 100. Whew. We're done. Stretch those arms long into your biggest good morning stretch. Feeling energy come into your toes and your fingertips. You have made it through the working portion of class, and now we get to reward ourselves with a beautiful stretch for our bodies. Staying on our back in a lengthening position, I'm gonna pull that right knee into my chest. Maybe rolling out my ankle. This is where we really focus on our breath, feeling it come in through our nose and blowing it out. Let's let that knee fall across our body in a twist as our right arm goes long. On your next exhale, fall even deeper into the stretch. Coming back to center, hug that knee in one more time. Straighten it up as far as you can. Gently pulling it close to your chest for 3, 2, and 1. Let it float down. And pull the opposite knee in. Roll out the ankle. And let it fall across your body in a twist. Left arm goes long. On your next exhale, get a little deeper. And rolling back to center. Straighten our leg up. Gently pull it in for 3, 2, and 1. Let it go. And however feels best for you, let's make our way into a lunge. So gently flipping over. I'm going to start with my right leg in front with a supported lunge with my back knee down. Knee not coming too far out over that front toe. And framing our foot with my hands. Place those hands up on your thigh or even up here as we gently press forward for a hip flexor stretch. And twist across that midline. Send that right arm long behind you. Come back to center. Shift our weight back for a hamstring stretch, flexing our front foot. And shifting back forward, this time tucking that back toe, coming up into a lifted lunge, and then stepping that back foot in so I make a triangle with my legs. And gently pressing my nose to my knee. And then walking my feet to parallel, pausing in the center to take a deep bend in those knees. And then walking across to my other side, we're reversing it, starting with our nose to knee. Step it down into a low lunge, and then drop the back knee. Coming up onto that front thigh, pressing forward. Arms come up. And twist across that midline, left arm goes back. Coming back to center, shift back for a hamstring stretch. And walking it back forward. This time when you're ready, stepping that back foot into a forward fold. Let's hang down here, letting every last bit of stress or sleep or tension that we can fall out of our body. This is a super uncertain time in our world, and if the best part of our day is our workout on our mat in our living room, let's let that be it and be happy with it. Maybe grabbing our opposite elbows, nodding our head yes, and shaking our head no, and rolling up one vertebrae at a time. Our head is the last thing to come up. And when it does, let's finish out class with some big breaths together. Inhaling our arms up and exhale them down. On this next inhale, think of something that you're really proud of yourself for doing today and exhale it out. Thank you guys so much for joining me this morning. It was an absolute pleasure having you here. This totally made my week. I'm really missing, my regular weekly routine of being at school and teaching to all you guys. And so this is such an amazing opportunity to get to connect with everybody in their homes. So I hope everybody is staying safe and healthy, staying inside, and really taking care of yourself, whether it's through all of our William and Mary virtual wellness classes or anything else out there that keeps you sane. So I'm going to stop the recording now. 2